The Lakers need a center, and it's not something people are just now figuring out. Teams attacked the paint all season, and LA didn't have an answer. The defense was soft in the middle, second chance points piled up, and they couldn't finish games strong. You can't make a playoff run with that kind of hole in your lineup. They've got scorers, they've got names, but without someone to anchor the middle, it doesn't mean much. This isn't about chasing stars. It's about finding a center who fits what the Lakers need right now. Someone who's available, affordable, and ready to make an impact. No more waiting for a perfect trade or a miracle. The time to fix this is now. And to understand what kind of player they can actually go after, we have to look at one thing first: how much money they can spend. The Lakers aren't working with a full wallet. They've only got the taxpayer mid-level exception to offer, which is around $5.6 million. That might sound like a lot, but in today's NBA, it barely gets you a solid role player, let alone a game-changing center. Unless LeBron takes a pay cut, which isn't likely, they're stuck with that number. So any big man they go after in free agency has to fit into that tight budget. This means they can't chase after names just because they're popular or flashy. They have to be smart, look for veterans who are on the decline but still have something left in the tank, or younger players whose value has dropped. The Lakers don't have time or money to waste. Every dollar counts, and it's going to limit who they can seriously go after. Let's take a look at who's actually on that list. Brook Lopez isn't the flashiest option, but he checks a lot of boxes. He can stretch the floor, block shots, and still plays smart, efficient basketball. Even at 37, he's knocking down threes at a high clip and remains one of the best rim protectors in the league. For a team like the Lakers, that's a rare mix to find at a price they can afford. He's not a long-term fix, but if they want a steady veteran who knows how to win, Lopez is one of the best short-term bets available. That said, there are risks. His age means he's not quick on defense, especially when switching onto guards. He's also not the type of center who's going to catch lobs or play above the rim, which limits what you can run with him on offense. But considering their budget, the Lakers might have to settle for someone who brings defense and floor spacing, even if he's not the perfect fit. Clint Capella isn't the same type of player as Brook Lopez, and that's exactly why he's on the radar. He plays above the rim, sets strong screens, and gives you a lob threat, something the Lakers didn't have last season. Even though his production has dipped, he still knows how to run the pick and roll and crash the boards. At 31, he's not in his prime anymore, but he's not washed either. And if his price drops like expected, he could fall right into the Lakers' budget. The downside? His defense isn't as sharp as it once was, and his hands can be shaky around the rim. He doesn't stretch the floor and mostly operates close to the basket. That limits spacing, especially when playing next to another non-shooter. Still, Capella's athleticism and vertical presence could give the Lakers a different look, and that alone might be worth the gamble. Al Horford has the kind of experience every contender wants. He's smart, calm under pressure, and still gives you reliable minutes, even at 39. If he ever left Boston, he'd likely come at a discount, which puts him right in the Lakers' price range. He can shoot, defend, and lead a locker room without needing the spotlight. On paper, that sounds like the kind of veteran presence that fits perfectly alongside stars like LeBron and AD. But let's be real, Horford leaving the Celtics feels like a long shot. He's been part of their core for years, and if he does walk away, retirement is probably the next step, not switching jerseys. It's a name worth keeping in the back pocket, but fans shouldn't get their hopes up. The Lakers will need to focus more on players who are actually available, not just ideal fits. Jackson Hayes is already on the Lakers' radar because he's been part of the team. They have his bird rights, which means they can offer him more money than other teams if they want to. He didn't get much playing time late in the season or during the playoffs, but part of that was due to how the rotation was managed. He's young, athletic, and still has potential if given the right role. For a team low on spending options, keeping Hayes could be the simplest move. Still, there's a reason he barely touched the floor in big moments. Whether it was trust from the coaching staff or his own inconsistency, he didn't do enough to lock down a spot. If the Lakers believe in his upside, they could bring him back on a cheap deal. But if they're trying to compete right away, it might make more sense to look at veterans who are more proven. If the Lakers decide to make a move through a trade, Nick Claxton is the name that keeps coming up. He's only 26, plays above the rim, defends at a high level, and can switch onto guards. A rare combo for a center. He's not a superstar, but he fills exactly what the Lakers are missing: defense, energy, and athleticism. Unlike other big names, Claxton is actually available, and reports suggest Brooklyn is open to moving him for the right return. The best part? The Lakers wouldn't have to gut their roster to get him. A package with players like Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, and a draft pick could be enough to get Brooklyn interested. That's doable, and it wouldn't wreck the team's depth. Claxton could grow alongside the Lakers' core and give them a long-term answer at center, not just a stopgap for one season. When you look at all the names, Brook Lopez, Clint Capella, Jackson Hayes, and Nick Claxton, they each bring something different. Lopez offers shooting and rim protection. Capella brings energy and vertical spacing. Hayes is a familiar face with untapped potential, and Claxton, if they pull off a trade, could be the long-term answer they've been looking for. These aren't just random names. They're the ones that actually fit the Lakers' situation and budget. This isn't about landing a star. It's about solving a clear problem without breaking the bank or the roster. The Lakers don't need a perfect center, they just need the right one. Whether they go the free agency route or swing a smart trade, the front office has to act. Because if they go into next season without fixing the middle, we might be watching the same story all over again. Who's the best center for the Lakers, veteran or trade target? Share your pick in the comments and subscribe for more quick NBA insights.